Zimbabwe.
Mugabe must go.
Mugabe must go.
To save Zimbabwe.
New Zimbabwe.
New beginning.
New beginning.
New Zimbabwe.
Matsotse zanu mudenga. Maure zanu mudenga. Mugabe wacho mudenga. Grace mudenga. Wotakezi mudenga. Chaunzi mudenga. Odenze pamwese. Rovera ipasi. Shoes.
So today we are joined in the studio by a Zimbabwean human rights activist. Would you like to introduce yourself, sir?
My name is Benjamin Molife. I'm from Zimbabwe. I've decided to join this movement because of what has been happening in Zimbabwe for the past number of years. We want the ZANU-PF government to go. We want Mugabe to go. People have suffered enough.
Right.
So it's like the world to come together to say enough is enough. Right. We want Mugabe to go.
Right.
ZANU-PF government must step down and go.
Right. What is your opinion about the recently held elections? Obviously, it's a year now since the elections were held. What was your opinion regarding those elections? Did you view them as free and fair elections? What do you think about that?
If you read in each and every paper in the whole world, that was actually a joke.
Right.
That wasn't fair enough.
Right.
That wasn't fair at all.
Right.
Mugabe should go.
Right.
He has been rigging all these elections from the word go, from years ago.
Right.
But it's high time now Mugabe, ZANU-PF government should go.
Right. With regards to the economy of the country, obviously, we have seen that since the unity government was formed, things began to improve slightly. But now we hear that we are actually going back to 2008. What do you think must be done about this situation?
The only situation in Zimbabwe, there are so many learned people who can actually control that economy. Okay. As you witnessed when the unity government was on, there are some intelligent guys who want to make a change, an impact on Zimbabwe, of which they are being only hindered by this government, by Mugabe and his henchmen. If they do go, we've got quite a few people who can sort things out for Zimbabwe, yes, okay. Economy-wise.
We have seen that when Mugabe is, when he requires medical attention, he goes off to countries like Singapore and across the world. But we know that the health system in Zimbabwe has deteriorated. What is your opinion on this?
That's also a joke. It's only so the health is for only the ones who can afford to go out of the country, isn't it? What about any other poor man who is in Zimbabwe? So they are dying, isn't it? But Zimbabwe, there are nurses there. There's only because the infrastructure has been all shattered by Mugabe. So his government should go.
Okay. So, going forward, what do you think the people of Zimbabwe now must do about this situation, going forward?
Only if the people of Zimbabwe were to have free elections, they are there to say, okay, fine, Mugabe, ZANU-PF should go. But they cannot do it because Mugabe controls everything. Okay. So it's a shame, really. Right. That's why we are trying to say to the world, please, if you could help as much as you can, we need your help. Mugabe, ZANU-PF should go.
Right. Oh, you've touched on a very important issue there, the help that we can get from the outside world. What specific help do you think powerful countries like Britain, America, etc., Australia can do to help settle the situation in Zimbabwe?
If these big powers could talk with one voice, yes, I think there will be an impact. But it's like would say Britain would step on their own. But if to say they are to come together to say, okay, fine, Mugabe, we should have free elections in your country. It has happened in so many other countries. They've done it. So they can actually help us as well in Zimbabwe.
Okay. We know that in this country, in Britain, Zimbabweans gather every day at the Zimbabwe Vigil in front of the Zimbabwe House in central London, the Strand. Do you see those activities? Because I know you've always been coming there. Do you see them helping at all?
Yes, it does, because it's a cry that we will always be on the streets to say, please, we need your help. Until we get that help, we will be still protesting to say, fine, Mugabe should go, ZANU-PF should go.
All right.
It does help.
So it definitely does help. We saw in North Africa, throughout the Arab world, we saw the uprisings, especially particularly for the past 2 years. It's still happening in Syria. The people have risen against the government. Do you see this as a formula or method that can be used in Zimbabwe?
It could be a formula method, but if you look at it, how many innocent people died in Syria? And how many innocent people have died in all these uprisings? We don't want bloodshed in Zimbabwe. We have witnessed that well before our independence. But it's like it will be killing you, my brother, killing one another. We don't want that. Why cannot we just do it like in a democratic way to say, okay, fine, enough is enough. Mugabe, step down. You have lost the elections. You go.
Right. So, as Zimbabweans, we must find a formula that is democratic, non-violent, and it is your appeal that to Mugabe directly that he must go. I want to give you this platform to say a direct message to President Robert Mugabe.
President Mugabe, ZANU-PF, everyone have said enough. We welcomed you when you first came. That was fine. But people want change now. People are suffering. People have moved away from homes. Families have been separated. People want to go back home. Mugabe, please go. ZANU-PF, go. We need change.
There is the succession issue being discussed in ZANU-PF, the ranks of ZANU-PF, and we have seen that the MDC is now paralyzed. What do you think is the direction of the political system in Zimbabwe, and what do you wish it to be?
You know, the situation in Zimbabwe, even though MDC is silent at the moment, but if they are to given a chance to say, okay, fine, they campaign on equal platform, yeah, they will bounce back, as long as is the voice of the majority. Even within ZANU-PF, there are some people who maybe will show their true colors when Mugabe goes, and they will be the same like Mugabe. So ZANU-PF should go.
What is your final word today?
As Zimbabweans, we should come together as one. Right? Let's all cry to say, Mugabe, go. Let's cry to the big superpowers to say, please help us. Hear our voice. We want Mugabe, ZANU-PF to go.
Let's go!